Do you find yourself getting up 2, 3, or even 4 times a night to use the bathroom? Are you sipping water or tea right before bed, thinking it's no big deal? Maybe you're enjoying a late coffee, a glass of wine, or a spicy snack to wind down. If you're over 60 and nodding along, you might be making some mistakes that are keeping you up all night with a full bladder. Nocturia, that's the medical term for frequent nighttime urination, can be a real pain. It doesn't just interrupt your sleep. It can leave you tired, cranky, and even affect your health. So, what's the one big mistake and a few others that could be causing this? Let's talk about the 5 common habits that might be sending you to the bathroom too often, why they're a problem, and what you can do to fix them. Stick with me, and we'll get you sleeping better and waking up refreshed. Number 5. Drinking fluids too close to bedtime. Do you grab a glass of water, a cup of tea, or even a smoothie right before you head to bed? It feels like a smart way to stay hydrated, right? After all, we're told to drink plenty of water for good health. But if you're chugging fluids in the hour or two before bedtime, you're setting yourself up for trouble. For seniors over 60, this is especially true because our bodies change as we age. According to a study in the Journal of Urology, about 70% of people over 60 deal with nocturia, and drinking fluids late is one of the top triggers. Here's why it happens. When you drink close to bedtime, your kidneys don't have enough time to process and excrete the liquid before you're trying to sleep. They keep producing urine, which fills up your bladder faster than you'd like. As we age, our kidneys aren't as efficient at concentrating urine, meaning they make more urine from the same amount of fluid. Plus, bladder capacity tends to shrink sometimes by up to 25% after age 60, according to the National Institute on Aging. So, that glass of water you drank at 10 p.m. could have you up at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., and maybe even 5 a.m., trudging to the bathroom. It's not just water you need to watch. Other fluids count too, like soups, herbal teas, milk, or even watery fruits like watermelon, oranges, or cucumbers. If you're having these late in the evening, they're adding to the liquid your body has to process. For example, a bowl of soup or a juicy peach at 8 p.m. It might seem harmless, but it's like pouring water straight into your bladder. And let's talk about the impact. Frequent nighttime bathroom trips disrupt your sleep cycle, cutting into deep REM sleep, which is crucial for memory and mood. The National Sleep Foundation says poor sleep can increase fatigue, affecting over 50% of seniors, making it harder to stay active or enjoy your day. There's another angle to consider. Some seniors deal with fluid retention, especially in the legs, due to conditions like heart failure or poor circulation common in about 30% of people over 65. Per the American Heart Association, when you lie down at night, that fluid moves from your legs to your kidneys, which then produce more urine. Drinking late just adds to this load, making nocturia even worse. So, what can you do about it? The key is timing your fluid intake better. Aim to get most of your daily hydration, about 8-10 cups or 2 liters of water, earlier in the day, ideally finishing by early evening, say 6 or 7 p.m. If you're thirsty before bed, take small sips of water instead of a full glass. Keep a small bottle by your bedside for emergencies, but try not to make it a habit. For watery foods, like soups or fruits, have them at lunch or early dinner, not as a late-night snack. If you love your evening tea, switch to a small cup of something caffeine-free, like chamomile, and drink it at least 2 hours before bed. One more tip. If you notice swelling in your legs or ankles, try elevating them for 30-60 minutes in the evening, maybe while watching TV. This helps your body process excess fluid before you lie down, reducing nighttime urine production. By shifting your fluid intake earlier, you'll give your bladder a break and get more uninterrupted sleep, which is a game changer for your energy and mood. Number 4. Consuming caffeine in the afternoon or evening. Are you reaching for a coffee, tea, or soda in the late afternoon or evening to perk up? Maybe it's a 3 p.m. latte to get through the day, or a cola with dinner to enjoy a little fizz. If you're over 60, this could be a major reason you're waking up to pee at night. Caffeine is a diuretic, which means it tells your kidneys to make more urine. It's also a bladder irritant, making you feel like you need to go even when your bladder isn't full. Let's break it down. A study in the American Journal of Physiology found that caffeine can increase urine production by up to 30% in some people. For seniors, this effect is stronger because our bodies take longer to process caffeine as we age, sometimes 6-10 hours, according to the National Sleep Foundation. So, that 4 p.m. coffee or 6 p.m. iced tea could still be active in your system at 2 a.m. Add in the fact that about 1 in 3 seniors have an overactive bladder, per the Urology Care Foundation, and you've got a perfect storm for Nocturia. An overactive bladder means the muscles contract too often, sending urgent gotta-go signals, and caffeine makes those signals even stronger. Caffeine isn't just in coffee. It's hiding in a lot of places you might not think about. Black tea, green tea, energy drinks, and even chocolate have caffeine. For example, a small piece of dark chocolate has about 20-30 mg of caffeine, enough to irritate your bladder if you're sensitive. Even decaf coffee isn't completely caffeine-free. It can have 12 mg per cup, according to the FDA. Some medications, like certain pain relievers or cold remedies, also contain caffeine. That evening, chocolate dessert or decaf cappuccino could be secretly sabotaging your sleep. Why does this matter so much for seniors? Frequent bathroom trips don't just disrupt sleep. They increase the risk of falls, especially at night when you're groggy. The CDC reports that 1 in 4 seniors fall each year, and poor sleep from nocturia can make you less steady on your feet. Plus, if you're tired from broken sleep, it can affect your focus, memory, and even your mood, which is critical as we age. Here's how to fix it. Cut off caffeine by noon or 1 penton m at the latest. If you need a pick-me-up in the afternoon, try a short walk, some stretching, or a glass of water to boost your energy naturally. For beverages, switch to caffeine-free options like herbal teas, chamomile, peppermint, or rooibos are great choices that won't irritate your bladder. If you love soda, go for a caffeine-free version, like ginger ale or lemon lime, but watch the sugar to avoid other bladder triggers. For desserts, skip chocolate and try something like vanilla pudding or fruit-based treats earlier in the day. Check your medications too. Over-the-counter painkillers like Excedrin or some cold medicines often have caffeine, sometimes 65 mg or more per dose. Ask your pharmacist if your meds could be contributing, and see if there's a caffeine-free alternative. By avoiding caffeine in the second half of the day, you'll calm your bladder and sleep more soundly, which means waking up feeling more refreshed. Number 3. Drinking alcohol before bed. Do you enjoy a glass of wine, a beer, or maybe a small nightcap to unwind after a long day? It might feel like alcohol helps you relax and fall asleep faster, but it's a sneaky culprit behind those nighttime bathroom trips. Alcohol is a diuretic just like caffeine, which means it ramps up urine production. It also messes with your sleep cycle, making you wake up more often, even if it's not always for the bathroom. Here's the science. Alcohol suppresses the release of antidiuretic hormone, ADH, which normally tells your kidneys to reabsorb water and produce less urine at night. Without enough ADH, your kidneys keep pumping out urine, filling your bladder faster. A study in the Journal of Clinical Sleep Medicine found that even one drink can increase urine output by 20-30% in older adults. For seniors, this is a bigger issue because ADH levels naturally drop with age by about 20% after 60, according to the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases. So, that glass of wine at 8 p.m. or whiskey at 9 p.m. could have you up by 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. Alcohol also irritates the bladder lining, making it feel full sooner, even if there's not much urine. This is especially tough for seniors, as the bladder's protective lining thins with age, affecting about 40% of those over 65, per the American Urological Association. For men, an enlarged prostate, common in 50% of men over 60, per the National Institute on Aging, can make it harder to fully empty the bladder, so any extra urine from alcohol adds to the problem. For women, Weakened pelvic floor muscles from menopause or childbirth can make the bladder more sensitive to alcohol's effects. There's another downside. Alcohol disrupts deep sleep, particularly REM sleep, which is essential for feeling rested. You might fall asleep quickly, but you're likely to wake up more often, feeling less refreshed. Poor sleep quality is linked to a higher risk of falls, depression, and cognitive decline in seniors, with 20% reporting memory issues, per the Alzheimer's Association. So, what's the solution? Try to avoid alcohol at least 3-4 hours before bed. If you enjoy a drink, have it with an early dinner, ideally before 6 p.m. Stick to one small serving, about 5 ounces of wine, 12 ounces of beer, or 1.5 ounces of liquor to minimize the diuretic effect. Better yet, swap alcohol for a non-alcoholic alternative, like sparkling water with a splash of cranberry juice or a mocktail with fresh herbs. These can feel just as special without the bladder trouble. If you're used to a nightcap to relax, try a calming ritual instead. A warm, caffeine-free drink like chamomile tea or warm milk can help you wind down. You could also try deep breathing or light stretching for 5-10 minutes to ease into sleep. By cutting back on alcohol in the evening, you'll reduce those bathroom trips and get deeper, more restorative sleep. Number 2. Ignoring an overactive bladder. Are you brushing off those frequent bathroom trips as just part of getting older? That's a huge mistake, and it's one a lot of seniors make. While nocturia is common, 70% of people over 60 experience it. Per the Journal of Urology, it's not always just aging. It could be a sign of an overactive bladder, OAB, where the bladder muscles contract too often, sending urgent gotta-go signals even when it's not full. About 33% of seniors have OAB, according to the Urology Care Foundation, and ignoring it can make nighttime peeing worse, not to mention affect your quality of life. OAB happens when the bladder's nerves or muscles misfire. This can be triggered by aging, menopause, prostate issues, past urinary tract infections, or even neurological conditions like Parkinson's, which affects 1% of seniors, per the Parkinson's Foundation. For men, an enlarged prostate, common in 50% of those over 60, can press on the bladder or urethra, making it harder to empty the bladder fully during the day. This leaves more urine to deal with at night, leading to frequent trips. For women, weakened pelvic floor muscles, often from childbirth or menopause, can make the bladder more sensitive, causing sudden urges. Ignoring OAB doesn't just mean more bathroom trips. It can lead to embarrassment, anxiety, or avoiding activities you love, like travel or social events. It also disrupts sleep, which can worsen memory, mood, and even physical health. The Alzheimer's Association says 20% of seniors over 65 report cognitive issues, and poor sleep from nocturia can make this worse. Plus, getting up at night increases fall risk, especially if you're rushing to the bathroom in the dark. What can you do? First, don't assume it's just aging. Talk to your doctor. They might ask you to keep a bladder diary for a few days, tracking when you pee, what you drink, and any triggers like certain foods or drinks. This can help pinpoint the problem. Simple changes can make a big difference. For example, pelvic floor exercises, called Kegels, can strengthen the muscles that control urination. A study in neurology and urodynamics found that daily Kegels reduced OAB symptoms by up to 50% in some seniors. To do Kegels, tighten the muscles you'd use to stop peeing. Hold for 5 seconds, then release. Repeat 10-15 times, 3 times a day. It's easy, free, and you can do it anywhere, watching TV, sitting in a chair, or even waiting in line. Your doctor might also check for underlying issues. For men, an enlarged prostate could be the culprit, and treatments like medications or minor procedures can help. For women, vaginal estrogen creams post-menopause can strengthen the bladder lining, reducing irritation. Urinary tract infections, which are more common in seniors, can also mimic OAB, so a simple urine test can rule those out. Don't be embarrassed to bring it up. Doctors deal with this all the time, and addressing OAB can cut those nighttime trips and help you sleep better. Number 1. Eating bladder-irritating foods late in the day. Here's the big one. The number one mistake that could be making you pee all night. Are you eating spicy foods, citrus fruits, or processed snacks for dinner or as a late-night treat? These foods can irritate your bladder, triggering that urgent need to go, especially if you eat them close to bedtime. For seniors, this is a major issue because the bladder gets more sensitive with age, and certain foods hit it harder than you might think. The International Urogynecology Journal lists common bladder irritants: spicy foods like chili, hot sauce, or curry, acidic fruits like oranges, lemons, or tomatoes, artificial sweeteners in diet sodas or sugar-free snacks, and carbonated drinks like soda or sparkling water. These foods can inflame the bladder lining, making it contract and feel full sooner. As we age, the bladder's protective lining thins, affecting about 40% of seniors over 65, per the American Urological Association. That spicy taco, grapefruit, or Diet Cola at dinner could be why you're up at 3 a.m., feeling like you can't wait another second. Let's look at why these foods are such a problem. Spicy foods contain capsaicin, the compound that gives chili its heat. Capsaicin can irritate the bladder, causing spasms that mimic a full bladder. Acidic foods like citrus or tomatoes increase the acidity of your urine, which can inflame the bladder lining. Artificial sweeteners, like aspartame or sucralose, are chemically processed and can trigger bladder contractions in sensitive people. Carbonated drinks add another layer. Carbonation creates gas that puts pressure on the bladder, making you feel like you need to go. These foods can also increase urine production. Citrus fruits, for example, are high in water and potassium, which stimulates the kidneys to make more urine. Processed foods like chips, canned soups, or fast food are often loaded with sodium, sometimes 1.0 mg or more per serving. High sodium makes you thirsty, so you drink more, which leads to more peeing. A study in urology found that high-sodium diets worsen nocturia in seniors, with those eating over 3.0 mg of sodium daily reporting more nighttime trips. For seniors, this is critical because taste buds dull with age. Up to 60% of people over 65 notice reduced flavor sensitivity, per the National Institute on Aging. You might crave spicy or salty foods to make meals more exciting, but those choices could be sabotaging your sleep. Plus, if you have an overactive bladder or prostate issues, these foods make symptoms worse, amplifying the urgency and frequency. Here's how to fix it. Avoid bladder-irritating foods after lunch, especially in the evening. For dinner, stick to bland, bladder-friendly options like grilled chicken, rice, or steamed vegetables such as carrots, green beans, or zucchini. If you love fruit, go for non-acidic choices like bananas, apples, or pears, but eat them earlier in the day, ideally at breakfast or lunch. Swap carbonated drinks for plain water or caffeine-free herbal teas, and always check labels for artificial sweeteners. Things like aspartame, sucralose, or saccharin can hide in healthy snacks like yogurt or protein bars. If you crave a late-night snack, try something gentle on the bladder, like a small handful of unsalted nuts, a slice of whole grain bread with a little butter, or a small bowl of oatmeal. Timing is key. Eat dinner at least 3 hours before bed to give your body time to process food and reduce urine production overnight. For example, if you go to bed at 10 p.m. and finish dinner by 7 p.m. One powerful tool is a food diary. For 1 week, write down everything you eat and drink, along with when you're waking up to pee. You might notice patterns like spicy curry or diet soda leading to worse nights. Share this with your doctor if nocturia persists. They can help identify specific triggers or test for conditions like urinary tract infections. By cutting out bladder-irritating foods in the evening, you'll calm your bladder and reduce those disruptive nighttime trips. Bonus tips to reduce nighttime urination. You've got the 5 big mistakes to avoid, but let's add some extra strategies to help you sleep through the night without constant bathroom breaks. These are practical, senior-friendly tips that can make a real difference. First, try elevating your legs in the evening. If you have swelling in your legs or ankles, common in 30% of seniors due to circulation issues or conditions like heart failure, Per the American Heart Association, fluid can build up during the day. When you lie down at night, that fluid shifts to your kidneys, which produce more urine. To prevent this, prop your legs up on a pillow or ottoman for 30-60 minutes in the evening, maybe while reading or watching TV. This helps your body process excess fluid before bed, reducing nighttime urination. Second, watch your salt intake. High-sodium foods like processed meats, canned soups, frozen dinners, or fast food can cause fluid retention, which your kidneys release as urine at night. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition says cutting sodium by just 10 mg a day can reduce nocturia in some seniors. Aim for less than 200-300 milligrams of sodium daily, about 1 teaspoon of salt. Check food labels and cook with fresh ingredients whenever possible. For example, swap canned soup for a homemade version with fresh veggies and low-sodium broth. Season with herbs like rosemary or thyme instead of salt for flavor. Third, strengthen your pelvic floor with Kegel exercises. These aren't just for women, men can benefit too. A study in neurology and urodynamics found that daily Kegels reduced nighttime urination by 40% in seniors with mild overactive bladder. To do them, tighten the muscles you'd use to stop peeing, hold for 5 seconds, then release. Do 10-15 reps 3 times a day. You can do them while sitting, standing, or even lying down, no equipment needed. Over time, this strengthens the muscles that control your bladder, reducing urgency and frequency. Fourth, check your medications. Some drugs like diuretics for high blood pressure or heart conditions increase urine output. About 20% of seniors take diuretics, per the Journal of the American Geriatric Society. If you're on one, ask your doctor if you can take it in the morning instead of at night to shift urine production to daytime hours. Other medications, like those for allergies or depression, can also affect the bladder, so review your meds with your doctor or pharmacist. Never stop or change a medication without professional advice, but a simple timing adjustment could cut those nighttime trips. Fifth, manage stress and anxiety. Stress can make your bladder more sensitive as it triggers the nervous system to send go signals to the bladder. About 15% of seniors report anxiety affecting their daily life, per the National Institute of Mental Health. Try relaxation techniques before bed, like deep breathing. Inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4, exhale for 6, or a 5-minute meditation. Apps like Calm or Headspace can guide you, or simply focus on slow, steady breaths. This can calm your nervous system and reduce bladder spasms. Finally, keep your bedroom safe for nighttime trips. Even with these changes, you might still need to get up occasionally. To prevent falls, which affect 1 in 4 seniors annually, per the CDC, keep a clear path to the bathroom, use a nightlight, and consider a bedside commode if mobility is an issue. A small flashlight by your bed can also help you navigate safely without turning on bright lights that disrupt sleep. When to see a doctor. If you've tried these tips and you're still waking up to pee more than once or twice a night, it's time to see your doctor. Nocturia isn't always just a nuisance, it can signal underlying health issues. For example, diabetes can increase urine production due to high blood sugar, affecting 13% of seniors, per the CDC. Heart or kidney problems can cause fluid retention, leading to more nighttime urination. Sleep apnea, which affects 20% of seniors, per the National Sleep Foundation, can also disrupt sleep and increase nocturia. For men, an enlarged prostate is a common cause. 50% of men over 60 have one. And treatments like medications, lifestyle changes, or minor procedures can help. For women, hormonal changes from menopause or weakened pelvic floor muscles might be the issue, and options like vaginal estrogen or physical therapy can make a difference. Your doctor might suggest tests, like a urine sample to check for infections, or a bladder scan to see how well your bladder empties. They might also recommend a sleep study if apnea is suspected. Don't be shy about bringing this up. Doctors hear about nocturia all the time, and they're there to help. Be honest about your symptoms, like how often you're waking up, if there's urgency or leaking, or if you feel tired during the day. A bladder diary can help your doctor spot patterns, So consider tracking your habits for a week before your visit. Addressing the root cause can reduce those bathroom trips and improve your sleep, energy, and overall health. Thanks for sticking with me through these 5 mistakes that could be making you pee all night. If this helped you figure out why you're not sleeping through, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more practical health tips tailored for seniors. Drop a comment below. Do you notice more bathroom trips after coffee, alcohol, or spicy foods? Or maybe you found a trick that's worked for you, like Kegels or cutting out soda. Share it with us, we'd love to hear. Let's keep the conversation going, and here's to better sleep, fewer nighttime trips, and waking up feeling refreshed. See you in the next video.